I played here. Could have been a mechanical issue, could have been medical. They've just recovered one of the black boxes, and this investigation is going to tell us the truth. But when DEI is in place, which it was at the FAA, standards get lowered, staffing's affected. And when there's a disaster like this, it makes everyone naturally suspicious. Late in the Obama-Biden administration, 1,000 well-qualified air traffic control applicants were rejected for not being diverse enough. That caused staffing shortages. And the Biden administration was sued for discriminating against qualified white applicants. The COVID shutdowns didn't help staffing either. They stopped training controllers for 2 years. How were air traffic controllers not essential workers? I have no idea. And this DEI thing isn't just a race thing. Biden instituted DEI quotas at the FAA in order to recruit workers who were deaf, vision impaired, missing limbs, completely paralyzed, epileptic, people who were severely intellectually disabled, psychiatrically disabled, and dwarfs. This was Biden's FAA just 2 years ago.
We need a diverse group of air traffic controllers to bring distinct perspectives to handle the ever-changing aerospace landscape. I'm calling on students and alumni from HBCUs, Hispanic serving institutions, and tribal colleges to apply now to become air traffic controllers.
Primetime also found this little slideshow from the Biden FAA titled Rethinking Diversity. And it says, quote, diversity plus inclusion equals better performance. Is that true? A major problem was that the FAA couldn't even fill their own DEI quotas. According to lawsuits, they discriminated against qualified candidates to hire diverse candidates, but they weren't able to hire enough diverse candidates. Air traffic control towers are short-staffed across the country. The agency has 1,000 fewer certified controllers today than it did a decade ago. Only 1% of air traffic facilities met their staffing targets last year. 1%. Why is the FAA the only agency in the federal government short-staffed? Every other agency has the opposite problem. They have too much personnel. Only at the FAA, they can't find enough people. Is that because you can't work remotely to be an air traffic controller? And it's not about money. Biden and Trump spent the exact same amount on the FAA. This is about mismanagement. And that's the president's point.
Are you saying race or gender played a role in this tragedy?
It may have. I don't know. Incompetence might have played a role. We'll let you know that. But we want the most competent people. We don't care what race they are. We want the most competent people, especially in those positions. And you're talking about extremely complex things. And if they don't have a great brain, a great power of the brain, they're not going to be very good at what they do, and bad things will happen.
This is about competence, and it starts at the top. In less than 24 hours, the president came out, held an open-ended press conference with his secretaries of Transportation and Defense and his VP, and then took questions in the Oval and signed a presidential memo to get to the bottom of things. As a reminder, this is who Joe Biden nominated to run the FAA.
What airspace requires an ADS-B transponder? Quickly, please.
Thank you for the question, Senator. Not sure I can answer that question right now.
So what are the 6 types of special use airspace that protect this national security that appear on FAA charts? Quickly, please.
Sorry, Senator, I cannot answer that question.
So what are the operational limitations of a pilot flying under basic med?
Well, thank you for the question, Senator. I'm not a pilot, so.
Can you tell me what the minimum separation distance is for landing and departing airliners during the daytime, Mr. Washington?
I don't want to guess on that.
Do you know the difference between those two, Part 44809 and Part 107? Do you know the difference there?
No, I cannot.
That guy had to withdraw his nomination because he was so unqualified. We've had mechanical issues with Boeing jets. Tulsi Gabbard was put on a TSA watch list. We've had near misses over and over again. These things should never happen in the United States of America. And a crash like this should never happen again. Our hearts and prayers go out to the families of these victims. We are so sorry for your loss. This is just such a senseless tragedy. What a sad day for this country.